€230 million. That's the amount PSG is said to have offered Barcelona in an attempt to sign Lamine Yamal. This information still needs to be verified. But once again, it shows the boldness of the Parisian club in the transfer market. If this deal actually happens in the future, it would set a new world record, surpassing even Neymar's transfer in the summer of 2017. The financial power of Qatar sports investments, represented here by Chairman Nasser Al-Khelaifi, seems truly limitless. Whether that amount will actually be spent or not, the mere willingness to offer it serves as a powerful statement that PSG has the means to attract any player in the world. Of course, no one doubts the wealth of the Parc des Princes club. But do they really need Lamine Yamal, or is this just a way to show off their spending power? First, let's take a look at PSG's current situation. It's fair to say they're standing at the very top of the world. There's no need to list their domestic achievements anymore. PSG winning titles in France has become almost routine. Their greatest accomplishment, and the one Nasser Al-Khelaifi had been pursuing for years, the UEFA Champions League trophy, has finally come to the French capital. At the Ballon d'Or ceremony, they were honored as the Club of the Year. Their manager, Luis Enrique, was named Coach of the Year, while Ousmane Dembélé won the Ballon d'Or, not to mention Vitinha, who took home the bronze ball, along with several other PSG stars making it into the top 30. Clearly, PSG is living in paradise right now. In such circumstances, it's hard to see what this team could possibly need to improve. Just like in life, when someone has achieved everything, when success and wealth become too abundant, many lose their sense of direction. And elite sports are full of such examples. UFC fighter Conor McGregor, after reaching ultimate success and wealth, drowned himself in scandals involving alcohol and partying. Heavyweight boxing champion Tyson Fury, after conquering the world, once fell into deep depression and even contemplated taking his own life. There are too many clear lessons from the past, and for Nasser Al-Khelaifi, his club cannot afford to follow that path. If PSG were to sign Lamine Yamal, it would be a massive boost marking the beginning of a new era at the Parc des Princes. With a player of such exceptional talent, it almost doesn't matter how he'll be used, simply having him in the squad would make the team stronger. That might be exactly what Al-Khelaifi and sporting advisor Luis Campos are thinking. People once doubted Mbappé's move to Real Madrid, but reality has proven otherwise. Mbappé is thriving there, and Madrid's attack has become more terrifying than ever. From a footballing standpoint, PSG fans can rest assured that if Yamal joins them, he'll certainly find his place and shine. That's the immediate benefit PSG would gain from signing him. However, Nasser Al-Khelaifi seems to have a much broader vision. His desire to bring in Yamal isn't just about making PSG stronger or starting a new chapter. It's also a strategic move to win over others' hearts. First, there's Luis Enrique. He's a brilliant coach, but he has a habit of not staying too long with any team, whether it's a club or a national side. Back in his Barcelona days, even though he achieved tremendous success, Enrique only stayed for 3 seasons. Now, this is his 3rd season with PSG, and the Parisian club could very well risk losing him. But if they manage to sign Yamal, a player Enrique is very fond of and who also shares a connection with Barcelona, Al-Khelaifi could persuade Enrique to stay in Paris longer. Players may come and go, but keeping a coach for the long term helps a club build a solid foundation and establish a clear footballing philosophy. It's not just about Enrique, the real target for Al-Khelaifi, and for Qatar as a whole, could also be the political establishment of France. PSG's investments are not merely about football. They are part of a broader game of soft power diplomacy between two nations. Every move made at PSG can carry strategic significance. If they manage to sign Yamal, it would serve as a strong statement to France that Qatar Sports Investments is committed to staying and doing business in the hexagon for the long run, not just playing around and leaving when the excitement fades. It's fair to say that PSG and Barcelona are two clubs that have reshaped the landscape of world football in the modern era. The transfer of Neymar from Barcelona to Paris in 2017 for €222 million remains the most expensive deal in football history to this day. But it shouldn't be seen merely as a number or a dry record. That move completely reshaped the entire transfer market. Player values skyrocketed to such an extent that the International Center for Sports Studies even had to use the term inflation to describe the phenomenon. It seems difficult, perhaps even more so than the Neymar deal back then, because Yamal's situation is quite different from Neymar's at that time. Back then, Neymar left Camp Nou to escape Messi's shadow. He wanted to go somewhere he could be the number one. And PSG gave him exactly that. Not only the star status within the team but also the brightest spotlight in all of League One. But right now at Barcelona, Yamal isn't living in anyone's shadow. The young prodigy is already a little king in his own right. In fact, he's arguably the most exciting talent in all of Spanish football at the moment. So if PSG tries to lure him with promises of status and stardom, that probably won't work, especially since League One simply can't compare to La Liga, and Barcelona is still Barcelona. Money is great, of course, but lose your identity, and even all the money in the world might not make up for it. The Neymar transfer itself is a cautionary tale for the Catalan giant. Barcelona pocketed €222 million from his sale, but despite having even more to spend, they never found a worthy replacement. Dembele, Coutinho, and Griezmann all arrived at Camp Nou for over €100 million each. Meant to fill Neymar's shoes, but all turned out to be disappointments. Selling Neymar marked the start of Barcelona's decline, and they won't want history to repeat itself with Yamal. After all, he's a homegrown talent, their own Messi 2.0. Keeping him is far more important than keeping Neymar ever was, because Neymar, at the end of the day, was just a hired superstar. It's undoubtedly difficult, but PSG is not without options. Of course, money isn't the issue here. Whether it's €230 million, €300 million, or even more, Al Khelaïfi can afford it. But with a tough negotiating partner like Barcelona, PSG needs to find a small opening, a subtle angle to approach from. And there is one: Yamal's representatives. Yamal is currently managed by Gestafood, the agency owned by super agent Jorge Mendes. PSG's sporting advisor, Luis Campos, happens to have an excellent relationship with Mendes, their fellow Portuguese. After all, in fact, several players in PSG's current squad are Mendes' clients, such as Vitinha, Goncalo Ramos, Rui Barcola, and even Zaire Emery. If PSG and Campos follow that thread, reaching out to Gestafood and sounding out Mendes about a potential deal, they might be able to influence Yamal's mindset. Who knows, through this network of connections, Campos and PSG might just pull it off. But in all this talk about PSG and Barcelona, it's easy to forget one crucial side, perhaps the most important one in any transfer saga: the player himself. If Yamal refuses to leave his comfort zone at Barcelona, then there's really nothing more to discuss. But let's imagine, just for a moment, that the young superstar agrees to join PSG. Where would he play? Naturally, in his familiar position, the right winger. At PSG, coach Luis Enrique currently deploys a 4-3-3 formation, a system that fits Yamal perfectly, as the wingers are the main attacking weapons in this setup. Looking at PSG's current squad, they have 5 quality attackers covering the 3 forward positions: Dembele, Doué, Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, and Goncalo Ramos. Lee Kang-in and Zaire Emery can push higher up the pitch, but they are midfielders by nature, while Mayoulou is more of a backup option. For a club of PSG's stature, each attacking position should ideally have at least 2 top players to allow effective rotation. So, with 3 attacking roles, the Parisian club should have at least 6 quality forwards. As mentioned, they currently have 5, meaning Yamal would be the perfect addition, strengthening both the lineup and the squad depth. PSG, already strong, would become even more formidable, like a dragon growing new wings. And that's not even considering the possibility of players like Doué or Barcola leaving to seek new challenges. Football is fascinating precisely because it never stands still, it's constantly evolving. So Yamal's playing time at PSG wouldn't be something to worry about. Given his massive transfer fee, Enrique would hardly dare to bench him anyway. The dream scenario? Seeing the reigning Ballon d'Or trio, Dembele, Yamal, and Vitinha, all on the pitch together. That wouldn't just be strong or dangerous, it would be pure luxury. Like a lineup of designer brands shining on the streets of central Paris. And beyond the football, Yamal could become the center of every glamorous event and exclusive party in the French capital. The young man has a playful energetic personality. And Paris seems like the perfect fit for that. Every luxury brand in the world is here. And playing in Paris would elevate his image enormously, along with the kind of personal financial benefits that can't easily be measured. In fact, Yamal already seems to have a soft spot for Paris. During the recent Ballon d'Or ceremony, rumors said he'd even prepared a lavish celebration in the City of Lights, though the trophy didn't end up being his. But if he joins PSG, he won't have to wait for a Ballon d'Or to celebrate. In Paris, he could party every week, or even several times a week. All in all, this transfer saga remains highly unpredictable. Barcelona will fight to keep their golden boy at any cost, while PSG won't easily abandon their ambition. The only questions that remain are, will it happen, and if it does, when? And for how much?